accent, whatever, right? If anything happens to that man, no one's going to confront the woman that's with him and say, "What happened? Like, why didn't you or this, whatever?" Right? Whereas, if anything's to happen to a woman, people would hold the man present accountable. So therefore, he has guardianship. Wherever a man is at, he's always responsible for whoever's around him. Even if it's his friends will still say, "Well, you not responsible for, but your friends are looking for you to have their back and to act in their best interest as well." Right, so everyone kind of relies on you to make the best decisions when you're the man, and that also goes for your relationships, and that's why the man has to set a lot of rules. Like in my last relationship, like yo, listen, I was like, yo, we're not gonna have this relationship where we're not respectful, we're fighting, and we're just having all this chaos, And I heard Crimson Crim at this point about how some women enjoy the experience of breaking up to make up, so they enjoy having fights, arguing, and stuff like that because they want to experience. If emotion is a spectrum, if emotion is a how can I say a pie and whatnot. She wants to have the entire pie. She wants to eat the entire pie. Okay. So anywho, play this again.
Love languages and attachments, it's actually very limited to do with that. When a man is simply masculine, he'll have very limited relationship problems because all he will do is select better and behave better. And once he
select better, behave better. What she's also speaking to is when you become more masculine, you recognize when other women are masculine, and it becomes way more unattractive to you. All right. You're more attracted to a woman who's soft spoken. Man, listen. I am a sucker for a passive aggressive, soft spoken woman with a lot of manners. Oh my god, you know what I mean? Listen, I got this girl I know. Every time I see her now, she ain't really the prettiest, but to me, she's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Because she blacker than a motherfucker. You know what I mean? And she always always look nice. Now she not really like she's sexy, but not sexy in a way where like it's like oh my god. It's more like she's what I like. You know what I mean? But more than that, like her whole personality, she's very much like how can I say reserved. Seem like she don't got much swag really, but you could tell like she's a girl. And with the more masculine you are, for one, you have less tolerance for bullshit. When I was younger and I was still, I'm not gonna say in my feminine, but I thought more like a woman in terms of wanting help, in terms of wanting things to be communal, in terms of wanting to do things together, not understanding. Don't get me wrong, you do need support, you do need help, but certain things you do in life is going to be a solo mission, right? And the faster you realize that, you make more progress versus having resentment for your loved ones or for a friend of yours because you feel as though they're supposed to do this business with you or do this venture with you. It's like, friend, y'all, your friend. Like it's really tough for friends. We base that off of people who are business partners who became friends versus being friends who became business partners. That never works. At best, y'all could be friends. Y'all could support one another and give each other information, not try to do things together. That's just not a good idea. All right, because someone's going to always fall short. It's always going to be an issue. And then when it's time to cut ties, it's not as easy to cut ties or to end the business relationship. And usually you're probably going to lose both. You know what I mean? It's like having sex. You understand? But anywho, I wanted to react to this real quick. So I actually had another Sadia Khan clip I want to get into. And I figure, why not since we're here? So check this out.
When we get into that conversation specifically about like children, I'm like, I think it's healthy to teach your children to be confident and love yourself. And if you get back to the space of like even where the term narcissist comes from in the tale is like it was a person who just loved himself so much that he loved his reflection.
Yeah, and that's a Greek. Yeah, and I did.
That's not the story of narcissist. No. He saw himself in the water. He loved himself so much that he saw himself in the water and tried to jump in there to kiss himself, which is kind of gay. Yo, the Greeks is mad gay, bro. Some gay shit. Anyway, but the idea was being so self-absorbed that he wound up destroying himself. Like he drowned. He died. All right, that's the whole point is that vanity will kill you. That's the point, right? But not only that, um, y'all doing some serious conflation. A narcissist complex can be a very dangerous thing. It will ruin a person. When you experience someone who's an actual narcissist, as in a person who cannot be wrong, a person who doesn't feel bad about things they do, because Nick Cannon has admitted to being a narcissist, right? Because a narcissist again does not have empathy, like when you're a real narc, right? But what we've done is use that word and go wild with it and run wild with it. And I never forget the first times I've heard someone say the word narcissist. At the time, I didn't realize that these girls are using this word and using this label to make themselves sound better in the story that they tell me about their ex. And I'm like, damn, you ever had a narcissist tell you what a narcissist is? Oh, that was the bar. Yeah, the first time I heard about that word was from probably the biggest piece of shit. As far as like the women I met in my life, like she is probably like the one of the most terrible women ever. Now I never gave her enough like rope or enough like room to like really do me dirty, but it's the kind of girl who will do you like very dirty, right? Like real nutcase. But back then, perfect example. I was nowhere near as masculine as I am now. First of all, me and her would have never even spent time together. Not only that, I would have been more accepting of the fact that she was a bum bitch. A lot of guys can't accept because what guys will do, especially when they ain't doing that good in life. Because at the time, I'm like, well, if I get with a girl who ain't got shit, she'll see me like she'll think highly of me. Or guys will think, all right, well, if I get with this big girl, she gonna think highly of me rather than becoming the kind of guy that she'll think highly of. Basically, becoming the kind of guy that women in general think highly of, and just giving it 2 to 5 years. Because it may not take 5 years to make a major change in your life to level it. Listen, like within a year, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not making all the money in the world and whatnot, but for the most part, I'm making way more than I was making last year. Like a lot more, you know what I mean? So I'm not that far away from six figures again, you know what I mean? So I just got to make about $31,000 and I'm at $100,000, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like over 70. So for the most part, I can, let me see. Yeah, I can make about 72,000 like with my income now. But of course with the economy, I don't really mean shit. You gotta make about I need about 1,500 more a month. Really 3,000. I need about 4 or 5,000 more a month. Like real talk. If you're not making $6 grand a month, yo, it's hard to make if you're not making $6 grand a month right now. But anyway, a little